Who says you can't come home? Not Nikki Stanzione. This actress, singer, performer, dancer, interviewer worked on the West Coast but is now back in New Jersey trying to make it big in the Hollywood world. I don't even know where to start with this segment because there's so much to talk about, so take me through your story.
It's actually interesting because I grew up always doing, musical theater, and I anchored the local TV show when I was in high school, and then in college I went to Rutgers, and so I kind of had a base here, and this was my home. It's where I grew up. And I hoped that maybe the big dream would happen in New York, but a lot of people would say to me, go to LA. I think that's a good place to start. So right after college, I moved right to LA and got my first job I auditioned for, which was to be on Young and the Restless. And I got a small part, and I thought, this is not that hard. Why does everybody say this business is so tough? It's actually not so bad. What happened, I realized it is a tough business, and being an actress, especially in LA, is really hard when you have a very New York vibe. I thought maybe I should host. Maybe I should kind of pursue my broadcast journalism background and do more hosting where I can be myself and see if that works for me. And fortunately, since then I've had a slew of amazing opportunities. I got to host a game show called My Games Fever, which here in New Jersey was on Channel 9. But like most shows, it eventually got canceled. And so then I figured, well, the weather never gets canceled. That'll happen forever. So I started doing more studying in the news area, and I moved to Pennsylvania and worked for AccuWeather for 2 years. It was great, but I felt like I was missing something because I didn't get to be my animated self as much. And then I got an opportunity to host my own talk show in the West, in New Mexico, on Fox. So I hosted a morning lifestyle show for 3 years that I launched, and it was basically like the Today Show for the Southwest. And I loved it, but then when my contract came up and it was time to make some decisions, I realized, and so did my boss, that at the end of the day, I'm still a Jersey girl. And so I knew it was time to come home. And I've actually come full circle because now I'm actually in an off-Broadway show once in a while. Certain weekends I do my big gay Italian wedding and my big gay Italian funeral.
So what is your advice for people watching this segment that are young, up-and-coming actors, singers, presenters?
Don't ever feel like you have to limit yourself because you just never know. Sometimes the things that you think you don't want to do end up being the things you love the most. Usually it ends up being that niche of yours that is what's going to get you further. So don't be afraid to just be yourself, and don't feel like you have to be somebody else to get the work.
For more on this segment, log on to hipnewjersey.com.